Okay guys, welcome back. So, musta na kayo? I hope you're having a good time. Pero, di ba yung member sabi ko sa iyo, we are still not yet done with our word problems because we still got lots to do. So, we've already finished 7. So, now let's go now to the 8th problem. So, on our problem dito sa number 8, ang sabi dito, look, there's no principal given. Our rate is 12.8%. Our time is 180 months. Ayan, so this one we're gonna have to convert. Because, diba, look at our time unit. Naka-months na siya. So, we need to convert that into years. Okay? And then our time unit is annually. So, no problem. And our interest is 61,083 pesos and 23 cents. Teka, bakit ganun, sir? Bakit ganun talaga yung nangyay, sir? Baka malay mo, some people you might be asking me talaga, sir, wala na yung in amount, wala pa yung present value. Paano na yan? Kasi nga diba yung member, ito yung formula ng compound interest. Diba, ang sabi ko ang formula ng compound interest ay P, isulat ko na lang. Ang formula ng compound interest ay P times 1 plus R divided by C times C raised to the T equals A. Diba? Kaso sa problem nito, dito sa number 8, as you can see, wala tayo yung what you call is yung amount at saka yung present value. So, paano na yan, sir? How do we do this? Paano tayo magsasolve ng principal at amount kahit wala sila? Don't worry. Mayroon tayong paraan. Let's try to look at P plus I first. Kung sa tingin mo, P plus 1 times this one, plus R divided by C, and then everything here raised to the CT power, and then times the P gives you A. Diba, remember, what does that mean? P plus I equals A. Yan. So, that's the second formula. E plus I equals A. So, these are the two formulas. Diba? Now, diba, remember, sabi dito, we are given the interest. Wala yung principal, wala yung amount. So, how do we solve for those? So, how do we solve for both P and A? Ganito kasi yun. Looking at our P plus I formula. Do you still remember what's the value of I? Diba, if you look at the value of I, ito yun. P plus, what's the value of I? 61,083.23 pesos. Yan. That is your I, diba? 61,083.23 pesos equals the A. We do not know what the A is because it's not given. However, did you know that, looking at our literal formula, this formula here is equivalent to A. So therefore, whatever you do here, you will give you A. So let's say, for example, do you remember you put numbers na here? Whatever numbers you put there, that will yield you to A. And this should be your, this A here pertains to this. Tama? You're correct. So therefore, now we have P plus our interest of 61,083.23 pesos is equivalent to P times 1 plus R divided by C raised to the CT power. Tama? Now we can identify the following. So, di ba remember, our P here, di ba remember P, we do not know what the value of P is. Per I, we already know that it's 61,083.23 pesos. And it's equivalent to P times 1 plus R divided by C. Di ba remember R? What is the R? The R is 12.8%. So, yan, naka 12.8% na yan. So, 12.8 or if I were to divide this by 100, it's, di ba remember, it's 1.28, di ba? Shift the decimal places 2 places to the left. So, yan, that's 1.28. And then, do we have a compounding period? Since sabi dito, annually, wala tayong compounding period. So, it's already direct to the point. And then, we have T. Di ba remember, what's T? T is, ano yun, what's the value of T? The T is 180 months. Pero yung 180 months na yan, we're gonna have to convert that into days. Di ba? Into months. Into years. Di ba? Remember, 1 year is worth 12 months. Di ba? Ito yung nangyari. 1 year ay 12 months. Pero 180 months, 180 divided by 12 equals 15 years. Di ba? When you type this on Excel, ganito kasi yun. Yes. 1 year's worth 12 months. But 180 divided by 12, ito yung ginawa ko. I did 15. Pero to verify if this is true, 180 divided by 12. And you should get teka lang ah. Yan, 15. So therefore, our exponent is 15 years. Okay? Now back to the problem. So now we already have this. So therefore, our P plus 61,083.23 pesos is equivalent to P times 1.28 that is raised to the 15th power. Diba? Now we can solve for both. First, let's solve for the ano yun? Let's solve the one on the right side. And when we do solve on the right side, what do we get? Diba? Remember, this is our formula, diba? So now let's try it this way. So ito yung solution sheet ko. Okay? On our left-hand side, diba remember the first thing that we need to do is this. Diba remember you have 1.1 plus 1.28, diba? So therefore, this one, this 12.8 here, we're gonna have to divide that. So 12.8 divided by 100. Yan, diba? And that's supposed to be 0.128. Diba? And then this one, 0.128. Wait lang ah. This one lang. Point. This one plus 1. Diba? And that is your, what do you call this? That is what you call the 1 plus R. Since meron tayong compounding period, diba? Wala tayong compounding period. And then this one, we're gonna have to exponent that. So, ang tinatawag dito ay exponent. Yan. So, therefore, it's 1.128 raised to this power. We're supposed to get 15 here. Did we get 15? Yes, we got 15 here, diba? And when we do that, we get 6.9090. Double check with my calculator to see if it's correct. Please wait a while because I'm going to turn it on. So yan, di ba remember this is the problem, di ba? So we have 1 plus 128, di ba? Being raised to the 15th power. So tama, we're supposed to get that answer, di ba? And now we have this answer as follows. Ganito kasi yun. So the next thing that we're gonna do is P plus 6.090269,272. No, I think that's, yan, this one, parenthesis. It's equivalent to P plus, ano yun? $61,000. 83.23. Yan. Diba? So, nag-shift tayo dito. Actually, you can distribute the P. The P here is being multiplied to your answer here, diba? So, you have to distribute P, which then brings you to 6.090269272 P. And that's equivalent to, P plus 61,083.23. Now, did you know that we can combine like terms? Kasi po, this is the problem, guys. Ito na talaga yung pinakamasamang problema. We have 6.0902 right on the left side. And then, di ba remember, 69272P on this side, di ba? This is the left side of the equation. And then this is the right side of the equation. Kasi di ba remember, we have P plus 61,083.23 cents. Kasi di ba remember, doon sa dulo, we have already solved na for this guy. This guy has already been solved up. Pero, and that's how we got this answer. P times 6.0920. And then when we distribute the P, we get this answer. Now, we need to bring the P's to one side so that we can let P all remain all by itself. How do we do that? Kasi nga remember dito, nag-add tayo. This one, is being multiplied. So, how do we do this? Note that, remember, this P here, we have a 1. Diba? Meron tayong isang P dito. And if you were to bring that to the other side, we're gonna have to subtract both sides by 1P. So, minus both sides by 1. And when you do that, you're supposed to have this. 5.090269.272P is equivalent to 61,083.23. Diba? And now we can divide both sides by this answer. So that we can let P go all by itself. Diba? So you have to divide this answer on both sides. 5.09 na lang. Diba? Para safe. So going back now to my solution sheet, ito na yung ginawa ko kanina. So, ang ginawa ko dito ay ganito. We have minus 1. Diba? Answer of exponent minus 1. Diba, remember this, how we're gonna do it, diba? I have to put parentheses pala para safe. Okay? The answer of exponent, expo, minus 1. So, the answer of the exponent is minus 1. So, diba, remember yung 6.09, that's the answer from what we get from the exponent. Then we subtract 1. And we should get 5.09. 002. Diba? And then from there, the last one is to solve for P. Diba? How do we solve for P? Diba remember this the one I told you? Diba remember kanina ang ginawa ko, diba remember yung P times this 6.09269272 is equivalent to P plus 61,083.23 pesos. So, ang ginawa ko dito, I shift the 1P to the other side. Even though what you call this, there's a P here, tapos may P dito sa dulo, sa number na yan, I brought the P to one side. How did I do that? Di ba, remember yung P dito ay 1. Ilang P's dito sa kabilang side? Isa lang. So, therefore, there's only 1 P there. So, I bring it to the other side. And then, I combine like terms. So, therefore, we're supposed to get 5.09P na lang. And that it leaves all by itself. And then we're just back to basic division. So now what we're going to do is the future value of 61,083.23 divided by this answer here. And what do we get? Yes, we still got the same answer of 11,000, oh my God, 11,999. But if I were to round it off, our principal is supposed to be 12,000 pesos. So, ang value ng principal namin ay 12,000 pesos. Pero, that's not yet it. Kasi, remember, we still need to solve for I. Remember what did I tell you kanina? Diba, remember this what I've done, diba? So, now we already got 11,999. So, that's how we did it all together. Yan. So, dapat we're supposed to get 12,000 pesos. Diba? And that's supposed to be color gold and yellow. Now, we add, we sum of the two numbers, and we're supposed to get this answer of, di ba remember nag-sum tayo ng 12,000 pesos, which I got earlier, plus 61,083.23 pesos. And when you do that, you get your final amount of 73,083 pesos and 23 cents. At yun na yung sagot. Kaya that's really the answer. Okay? So now you know already how to solve for ano yun? Solve for the P and the I and the A if they are not given in compound interest. All you have to do is to just apply this formula and then apply this formula. Okay?
Oh, it's 12:30.
Alright, so good. Now let's go to number 9. So, number 9, it's the same principle like what you've done before. It says here, we have 15.5% as the rate. And then, look, we have a time unit now. Diba, remember last time, wala tayong time unit? Ngayon, meron tayong what you call this time unit that says, from that date up to that date. And that's from December 24, 2019 up to the present. Hanggang na yun. Diba? And then the time is semi-annually, compounding period, and then our interest is, ayan, this is an algebraic problem. This one, it says 13 pesos squared times 10 pesos cubed in exact interest. So therefore, what do we do in this situation? In this situation, it's just like the same thing like what we've done in number 8. Our manifested goal is to solve for the rate, the principal, and the amount. And applying the formula like what I've told you kanina, that will help you out here. So now let's solve this one by one. So going now to number 9. Diba, remember this is number 3-9, diba? So we have our principal which is not known, and our rate, and our time, and our semi-annually. So diba, remember this is what I've done here. So ang ginawa ko dito ay, ito yun. First, diba, remember yung 15.5%, I need to divide it by 100. And doing so will give me 0.155%. Diba? And then, diba, remember, it says semi-annually. So, therefore, you have to bring down all the semi-annuallys. Diba? Lahat yung mga semi-annuallys pinadala ko. And then this one, diba, remember, sabi dito sa interest, it says here, it's 13 pesos squared times 10 pesos cubed. Times 10 cubed. Diba? 10 cubed is 1,000. And 13 squared is 169. And 169 times 1,000 is 169,000. So, yun yung sagot. So, ito yung ginawa ko. 13 carat cube means 13 squared times 10 carat cube means 10 cube. Yan. And now, all we have to do is to solve for the principal. But how do we do that? First, we need to get the time. Kasi ito ba, remember, the time there, it says 169,000. The time there, it says from December 24, 2019 up to the present. And what's the date today? The date today is October 24. October 24, 2024. So, tama hanggang na yun, up to the present. So, therefore, when we did this, ganito kasi yun. So, di ba remember this 2019, yung 8, 366, that's your, ano yun, your 2020, di ba? Dahil 2020 may leap year. 2021, wala tayong leap year, so 365. 2022, may leap year, walang leap year din. Kaya may tatlong 365. Kapag dumating na tayo sa 2024, ito na yan. January, may 31 days. February, halatang may ano yun? Halatang may 29 days to. Kasi nga, diba, remember, since 2024 sa leap year, so therefore, there is, ano yun? 5 years. Okay? 29 days. Tapos March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Pero I did 22 kasi nga dapat we're supposed to do 24. So let's put 24 and see what answer did we get. So when I did this, what's my answer? We get 1,767 days. Diba? So that's the number of days that I got. Pero remember, when we're doing compound interest, we can't do it from this date up to that. We can't be using days. Kasi diba, remember, our rate is always in years per annum. So therefore, this is in days. So we need to convert our time unit into years. So how do we convert our time unit into years? Ganito kasi yun. Diba, remember, sabi ko sa'yo, ito yung solution sheet ko, diba? First, diba, remember that 1 year is worth 365 days, diba? So, isang taon ay 365 days. Diba? Pero what about we have, ano yun? We have, ano yun? 1,767 at days. So, we need to divide. So, 1,767 divided by 365. So, that we can get how many days? How many years? And that is 4.84 years. Yun yung tamang sagot. So, from December 2019 up to the present, it's 4.84 years. Grabe naman. 4.84 years. Or let's say, for example, kung mag-time interval tayo, pwede pa rin tayo. Pero we might not be able to get the exact interest. Pero kung mag-try tayo, ganito kasi yun. Diba, remember, this is 2024. Tapos, this is, ano yun? Up to the present na yun. And then, October 24. Halatang-halata, yung 24 ay pwede mag-subtract. Pero, diba, remember, it says here, December 24, 2019, diba? So, 2019. 10 minus 12 cannot be. So, therefore, it has to be, ano yun? 22. So, we add 22. So therefore, this one, 10 plus 12. Mag-carry tayo ng 12. Tapos ito naman, we have 2024. This one, minus 1. We're supposed to get 23. Then we find the difference of both. No, that was wrong. That was wrong pala. Minus this one pala. And then we work it out for the rest. When we do it for the rest, we should get this one. 4 years and 10 months. Diba remember, 4 years, 1 year is worth 365 days. Per 4 years, diba remember, it's gonna be 4 times 365. So 4 times 365 equals 1,460. Pero, sandali. Diba meron tayong leap year? Kaya add namin by 1. Pero mamaya na yan. I'll tell you that later. And then we have 10 months. Diba 1 month is worth 30 days. Pero what you call this, it may not be exact kasi eh. Kasi diba remember, kung mag 10 months tayo, I know it will be 30 days. Hindi siya 31. So therefore, it's gonna be 30 times 10. And then we sum everything up. Tama nga, we should get the answer of 1,761. Kaso, kulang. Kasi nga, in some months, we need 31 days. Kaya for the sake of some months, kulang. Kaya nga, that's why nga, it does not work. Kaya nga, kung gusto mo mas accurate, ito yung formula na ginawa ko. I summed all the numbers together from the number of days. From 8 days to 366 days, to 365 days, 365 days, 31 days, hanggang sa present. And that's why I get 1,767 days. At dapat, we're supposed to get, 4.84 years. So, dapat yun yung year namin. Okay? So, now, let's go back. So, di ba remember this one, I still have nothing. This one is still my, Okay, so now let's input my solutions. Ito kasi yung solution namin. Diba remember, dapat, our time, we have to use 4.84109. And that is our time in years, diba? And remember the formula? P times 1 plus rate divided by C, all raised to the CT power equals A. Pero since wala tayong A at saka yung P, we apply the same formula just like what I told you kanina. The same formula still implied. Magawa tayo ng same formula. Diba? So now we are going to use the same formula. Diba remember what is P? P, wala tayong P. Wala ang P. Ang P ang dapat hanapin namin. So therefore, our objective today is to search for the missing P. Okay? So P plus I. How do we get the I? Diba remember what's the I? The I is 169,000. Diba? Equals the A. Ano yung A? P times 1 plus R. Ano yung R? 0.155. Diba? We do this first. And then, ang compounding period ay semi-annually, as you can see here. So, kung sa team mo ay semi-annually, we're gonna have to divide that by 2. Diba? And then, raising that to the what power? Diba? Remember, our time is 1,667 divided by 365. So, therefore, it's going to be raised to the 2 times 1,767 all divided by 365. So, therefore, that is our what you call this, that is our new value. That is our equation. First things first, we need to solve for the right side of P muna. Di ba, remember, ang gawin namin ay is to solve yung right side ng P. We need to solve for the right side first. Kasi di ba, remember, we have 1 plus 0.155 divided by 2. So, let's work it out first. Ganito kasi yun nangyari. So, first, di ba, remember, we have R divided by C. Dahil may compounding period tayo, so therefore, we're gonna use R divided by C. Yan. Okay? So, R divided by C. Diba? I-adjust namin dito sa center. Wait lang ha. Okay, so R divided by C. Na naman yung R, ano yung value ng R? 0.155. Pero compounding period is 2. It's semi-annually, so therefore, we're gonna have to divide that by 2. And what do we get? 0.075. Very good. And what's the next step we do here? Di ba, remember, ito yung nagagawa namin. So, nagagawa namin ito. What's next? This one's a check. So, we need to add 1. Very good. This one first. So, mag-add tayo ng 1. Di ba, remember, this one is 0.075 plus 1. So, press enter, we're supposed to get this answer. So, therefore, this is supposed to be 1 plus R divided by C. Okay? Now, what about the exponent? Kasi, di ba, remember, kung sa team mo, we already got the answer on the parentheses, musta na kaya yung exponent? Yan, that's what we're gonna solve for now. The exponent. So, let's type here exponent. Exponent. Okay? So, ang gagawin namin dito ay 2 times 1,000, 2 times this guy here, all divided by 365. Diba? And you should get this answer. 9.68. O pwede naman, di ba, remember, you can also opt to click on that cell here. Nala mo yung 4.84 years. And then multiply it by 2. Will you still get the same answer? And the answer is, yes, you will. You will still get this answer of 9.68. So, tama, you will still get that exponent. So, yun yung exponent namin. So, therefore, we've already solved for everything. Diba? And then, this one here, we're gonna do this. Diba, remember, nagjalo tayo dito. And our value is 9.68219, diba? So, now all we have to do is, this guy, yung answer na nakuha namin dito, na answer ng 1 plus RC, time raised to the exponent. So, therefore, dito we type 1 answer of rate, answer of R, raised to the ans of T. Diba? Nasaan yung ans of R? Diba, remember the ans of R is right here, diba? Yung 1.0775. So, therefore, ang gawin namin ay ito. I-raise na namin sa specific na exponent. And when we do so, what answer did we get? We should get 2.060014. And now, di ba, remember, this is our new equation now. Let me type this in a calculator to verify if this is true. Okay? So, kung mag-type dito sa calculator, di ba, remember, this is what we're gonna happen. So, we have 1 plus point, ano yun? 155 divided by 2. And then, we're raising that to the 2 times the 1767 divided by 365. Do we still get the same answer? Yes, we did. Okay? Now, based on this answer that we got here, di ba, may ko na namin ay ganito. So, now we have P plus 169,000 pesos is equivalent to P times 2.06 something. 2.060014658. Yun na yung gagawin namin. And then, all you have to do is to distribute. Diba? Remember, on the right side, i-distribute na namin. While the other side still stays. Diba? The other side is still the same. So, we're gonna have to distribute the right side. Okay? Yan. And now, what's the next thing that we're gonna have to do? We're going to combine like terms. Shifting P to the other side. Do you remember mayroon tayong 1P dito? So, we can put these two terms together. So, subtracting both sides by 1P, therefore, we should get, our answer should be, ganito na. 169,000 pesos is equivalent to 1.060014,658P. And in order for us to get the answer all by itself, we divide by this answer here. Yan, di ba? So yan, yun yung gagawin namin dito sa Excel. So ang ginawa ko dito, we already got our answer. And now the next step that we're gonna do is, di ba, remember yung ginawa ko dito, shift the cells. Di ba, remember we're gonna have to subtract 1 on both sides. So therefore, ang gagawin dito ay, i-minusin namin by 1. So this one minus 1. Therefore, we have to, and therefore, the title of this cell is ans r raised to t. Diba nakuha tayo yung answer dito kanina, diba? So we got already our answer here, diba? The answer of r raised to t minus 1, diba? And then last but not least, we have this one, a divided by accumulated answer, or AQA in short. So therefore, we're gonna do the future value or the interest divided by this one. So therefore, it's 169,000 pesos divided by this one. And what answer did we get? Therefore, principal is 159,431.76 pesos. So if I do this on calculator, let's see if I get the same answer din. Diba na-subtract tayo ng 1 dito? And we get this answer. And then we have 169,000 divided by this answer. Tama! We should get a principal of 159,431.7576 cents. Or you can just round it off na lang to 76 cents. So yan. So now going back here, that's supposed to be our answer. So ganito yung ginawa namin. Oh, actually, there's another formula that you can also do in this particular situation. Pwede ka mag-ano yun. Di ba remember, this is your A. Your A is equivalent to P plus 1 plus R divided by C raised to the CT power minus P equals I. Diba? So therefore, if you want to factor out the P, pwede pa rin. Pwede ka mag-factor out ng P dito and you will just have 1 plus R divided by C raised to the CT power minus 1 equals I. Diba? Kasi nga, if you were to do that, diba remember yung P, you can factor out the P's. And if you do that, diba remember yung P ay pwede mag-distribute dito. So therefore, it's going to be P times 1 plus the R divided by C. And then P times negative 1 minus P. So therefore, in summary, ito yung ginawa namin. So ang ginawa namin dito, we did R divided by C first, which is the first thing that we did, diba? And then, nag-add tayo ng 1. Pagtapos na yan, nag-add tayo ng 1, i-multiply namin yung exponent. Diba? We raise it with that exponent. And then, diba? And then, whatever answer we get here, we minus it by 1. And then, whatever answer we accumulate here, I divide by P, I divide by your answer here to get you P. So, that also works in either way. Kaya you can also do this formula. That is if I were to do it explaining step by step. But this one's already okay. But either way, you will still get the same answer. Now, let's type it again to see if we get the same formula. The same answer. So, diba remember dito, we have the, the rate of 0.155, diba? Mag-double bracket tayo. So, diba remember ito yung future value, 169,000. Divide by, double bracket, we have, 1 plus, the R divided by C, diba? Divide by 2, diba? We do that first. And then after that, we raise that to the 2 times this guy, divide by 365. Or you can just raise it to this power that you see down there. Diba, remember that's the exponent we got? The answer to the exponent, you can just get it here. Diba? Exponent. And then after that, diba remember, pagkatapos yan, we also subtract that by 1. Diba? Yan. We should also get the same answer din. Kukunin tayo ng same answer, which is 159,431 pesos, 0.76 cents. And now we add. Diba remember gagawin tayo dito, kung magkuha tayo ng amount, it's always this guy plus this guy. Diba? And you should get the answer of 328,431.76 cents, di ba? Let's also put this here again para sure. Okay? Teka. Wait lang ha. There might be a bit of a problem. Pero never mind. Either way, di ba nila? Okay na yan. Okay na yan. Okay na yan. Basta what is important, we already got the answer. Okay? So we should get this answer in future amount. So yun lang. Last but not least, we have number 10. So number 10, we have our principal of 310,101 pesos, and then our rate charge is 10 and 1/3%, and then our time, we're gonna have to solve it in days, months, and seconds, and then our compounding period is quarterly, and the interest is written in square root of the cube root of the principal. Diba, remember, it's already an algebraic problem. So you have to take the cube root of the principal. Pero our time is ordinary time. So we're gonna have to consider the ordinary time when it comes to doing this problem. So now let's solve for the following. So ganito yung gagawin namin. Diba, remember, this one is your principal. So your principal here is 310,101. And then we got our rate 10 plus 1/3%. Diba, remember, 10 plus 1/3, that is 0.1033333333 and a bunch of threes that move about endlessly. Pero we have to divide it by 100 dahil i-convert na namin sa decimal. Diba? I-convert namin sa decimal. Tama? Yan, di ba? We're gonna convert it to a decimal, and this is what we get, di ba? Di ba, remember, we have 10 and 1/3%. So, 10 and 1/3%, di ba, remember ito yung calculator namin. Di ba, meron tayong 10 and 1/3. Kapag yung 10 and 1/3, i-divide namin by 100, tama, we should get 0.103333. Now, we are gonna have to take the cube root of our principal. Di ba, remember, to take the cube root of the principal, we type this function. B60, since wala tayong cube root dito, there, and we click caret, and then we raise that to the 1/3 power. Then remember, if there's no root, you can just write that as a fractional exponent. Either way, you will still get the same answer. And what do you get when you do that? You get the answer of 67.68. Pero I want to round this off. So therefore, we're gonna move the decimal places to the right. Diba? So we rounded off. So therefore, our principal, our interest is 67.69 cents. So yun yung talaga dapat yung sagot namin. Alright? And then to get the amount, ganito kasi yun. Remember, you know already what to do, di ba? So if it were white. Okay? Wait lang ah. Okay, so just what I said. Okay. Ano ba yun yan? Kalimutan ko pa i-type. Ayan, so therefore we have the amount. And the amount, diba, remember, i-add na namin. So therefore, it's this guy plus this guy to give you the amount. And you're supposed to get this answer. Same point tayo dito. Yan. And that's what you call the amount. Now that we collected every variable needed, it's time to solve for the rate. I mean the time. So how do we solve for the rate? I mean the time. Because you remember, our formula goes like this. Let me write it again. Going back to my formula that I wrote here. Diba, remember, we have P plus 1 plus R divided by C raised to CT is equivalent to A. Meron tayong principal na 310,101. Meron tayong rate, which is, ano yun, 0.10333, all divided by the compounding period, which is 4. And 4 raised to the T equals 310,169. Yes, diba? Pero actually, to be honest, I want to move the decimal place to the right. Yan. So, dapat that's supposed to be 168. Okay? Now, this is what we're gonna do. Or actually, you can just leave it na lang like this for now. Pwede tayo round off. Mamaya, we will show you what's the difference. Okay? You can leave it like that for now. Para di tayo mahirapan. Okay? Kung gusto mo, pwede pa rin ganun. Pwede pa rin. Pero I want to be accurate, so therefore, let's do it na lang like this for certain. Okay. So now we already have this. And then the first thing that we do is future value divided by the present value. Diba? So, ito yung ginawa namin dito sa solution sheet. So, ang ginawa ko dito ay ganito siya. So, we have to take the log of both sides. So, we have FP. Diba? Remember this future value divided by our present value. So, ito yung ginawa ko dito. The future value divided by the present value. And we should get this answer. Yan. And we should get 1.00, 1.002, 18272. Yun ang sagot. And then, di ba remember, we need to simplify whatever's in the R. So, we have to take the log of 1 plus R times C. So, ang ginawa ko ay 1 plus the rate here, and then divide by the compounding period, which is 4. So, dapat we're supposed to get this answer. Yes. Di ba? And then, di ba remember, in your calculator, let's say, for example, kung wala ka, if you're going to take the log, di ba remember this the answer that you are in? You're now currently in 1.025833 raised to the 40 power is equivalent to 1.0002187. Okay? Now, we can take the log of those two numbers. So, when we take the log, di ba remember, log base 10, log, tapos log. The 40 jumps down, and then we take the log of both sides. Dividing both sides by the log, di ba? So, therefore, we have log of this divided by log of that. So, that's how we do the base 10 formula. So, ang ginawa ko dito, I did log base 10 of my answer here. Di ba? Let's reveal it in color so that you will already see what I've done there. Yan. And when I take the log of both of these situations, I should come up with that situation. Di ba? Log base 10 of the future value is 9.4878 times e to the raised to the whatever you call that. Pero that's already in scientific notation, so don't mind it. And then the second one, log of 1 plus r divided by c, which is an answer here, you get this answer. Now, the next step that we're gonna have to do is to divide the logs. So, ito yung ginawa ko dito. Diba, remember this what I've done here? Ito yung instruction na oh my God, sorry. I'm sorry if I were to blackmail it. Ito pa yung mga solution sheet na ginawa ko dito. I already put everything here. So, this is basic solve, diba? Taking the logs. And then taking the logarithms. Diba, remember this one is basic solve. When we solve for the values, the numbers. And then this one, we take the logs. Now, we're gonna have to divide the logs. So, when we divide the logs, diba, remember this what I did here? Ang ginawa ko dito, dinivide ko yung answer dito. I divide by, diba, remember the log base 10 of future value over present value. Divide by the log base 10 of the base. Diba? If you want to do the direct method, you can also do it this way. Type log and then number and then the base. Diba? Remember, that's the number that you want to take the log of, and that's your base. And tama daw siya yang te. That means you got the same answer. And then your answer must be divided by 4. And when you do that, you're supposed to get 0.0021392224. Pero, and that's your time, correct? Pero, that is not the time I'm looking for. Kasi dito, sabi dito sa word problem ko, I want my time unit to be in days, and in minutes, and in seconds. So therefore, you're gonna have to convert your time units. Gets? So now, going back to the problem. Pero don't worry, the clue there is it says we are considering the ordinary time. So ganito kasi yung mangyari dito. Let's go back to Excel and see how I solved it. Okay, so you still remember my answer of 0.002139, diba? That is in years. And I need to convert that into days. So how do I convert that into days? Remember the relationship? That 1 year is worth 360 days. But since we have 0.0021396224, whatever you call that, we multiply that by 360. And when we do that, we should get 0.77012769 days. So therefore, we have how many? So therefore, what is the solution here? How many days is it? We have no days. Wala. Wala yung days namin. Teka, paano na yan? Bakit walang days? Kasi remember, our time is supposed to be mga years, months. Bakit days? Walang tayong days eh. Pero never mind, di bale, para what you call this, you will have a practice problem. Pero sa totoo lamang, wala naman ganun sa buhay eh. Kasi nga the time unit or the transaction time needed, the minimum time needed is always months and years. Hindi pwede days. Kahit wala yung day, wala yun. Okay? Now, going back. So, now we're gonna have to convert that into hours. So, 1 day is worth how many hours? Diba? And that's 24 hours. And diba remember, ginawa ko dito, we get 0.77012769 multiplied by 24 hours, and we should get 18.48 hours. Pero, we're not doing hours right now. We want it in minutes. So, therefore, doing this again. 1 hour is worth ilang minutes sa 1 hour? 60 minutes. So, therefore, we have 8. So, therefore, we do this. 18.48 times 60. Ito yung solution sheet ko. And doing that will give you 1,108 minutes. Or another solution is this. Diba remember, you can do 1 day. How many days are there in 1 minute? Diba remember, we have, 24 hours in 1 day. Pero, how many minutes are there in 24 hours? If 1 day is worth 24 hours, how many minutes are there in 24 hours? 60. So, 24, 60. Diba? So, therefore, this is the ratio and proportion. If 1 day is worth 24 hours, and 24 hours is worth 60 minutes, because 60 minutes make 1 hour, so therefore, we need how many minutes to make 1 whole day? It's 60 times 24. Very good. Kasi ito ba, remember, if I do the ratio and proportion like this, we have it like this. Let me write it for you. Where's my pen? Ano ba naman yan? 1 day, 24 hours, and 60 minutes. Diba? So, therefore, ang ginawa namin, we multiply on the left. Diba? So, 24 times 60 equals 1 day's worth 1,460 minutes. Diba? Bakit ganun kaya, sir? Kasi diba remember, 24 times 6 is 144. Diba remember, 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 times 4 gives you 144. Diba? Now, we have to convert that to 160 minutes. Diba? So, 1 day is worth 160, 1,440 minutes. Diba? Now, all we have to do is to convert. Diba remember yung day namin? Yung ito, we're gonna have to multiply that by 1,440. Do you think you will still get the 1,108? Yes, we still did. Thank the Lord. Now, di ba remember, we have 1,108 minutes. So, yung sagot namin dito sa minutes. Di ba? Is that right? Yes. That's what I have in my minute selection. 1,108 minutes. Okay? Now, for our time unit, di ba remember, we're gonna convert that to seconds. So, how many seconds are there in 1 minute? We know it's 60 seconds. Pero, di ba remember, we have 1,108 minutes. And we already have the minutes. So, we need to get the seconds. So, to get the seconds, ikunin namin yung decimal, not the whole number. So, we need to subtract. Subtracting this by 1,108. And we should get 0.98. And then our answer here, we multiply it by 60. And we're supposed to get 59 seconds lamang. However, rounded off, we still get 1 more minute. Because 59 seconds is almost 1 minute na. So, you can make that to 1,109 minutes and then 0 seconds. Pwede pa rin yun yung sagot. Okay? And that's it. And that's how we solve our compound interest. That's all the problems that I have today. And once again, thank the Lord, we've already done everything. Good job. Thank you so much for watching and leave a like to this video. Bye!